Hi. Good. How are you?
I'm not bad for an old lady.
Uh,
I'm pretty good. Good, good, good. So, my name's Helen Smith, and I was the minister of St. Andrews, Edmonton from 79 to 82. And that was a mission appointment back in the day. And there was another woman, Jean Armstrong, who was also appointed. I came from Knox and Jean came from PC, but it was good to have her there. There was also a key person, Lois Snyder. And so that was helpful to have them along as kindred spirits. The male clergy in the presbytery, I thought were really great and very supportive, very helpful. Although I think there was one time when I was pregnant, and one of them, nobody knew. And at the time, somebody made some comment about my breathing or was giving me advice on how to breathe. And I thought, oh, if you only knew how hard it is just to stand here. Anyway, and my session was very supportive too. They were very, maybe protective is a word for it. I do remember one at the very beginning, I decided, well, how am I going to, they throw you out of Knox College and they think everything. And I thought, how do I do ministry? So I decided I was going to visit everybody in the congregation. And I visited this one guy and we had a lovely chat. And I probably had a cup of tea and then went home. But when the session found out that I had visited this guy, they were, oh my goodness. And it turns out that he maybe liked to drink a little bit too much. And so they were very afraid that something might have happened to me, but it didn't. And so they were very good at looking after me. That was another thing. They sometimes got a little bit concerned about me parking in the back of the church, but I always felt fairly safe. It was an interesting neighborhood. There were, I don't know, do they still have the sign saying no prostitution or, yeah, yeah. Anyway, the congregation was terrific. They were very kind. And I was the first woman, so they must have had a bit of an adjustment to make, but I didn't notice they didn't leave in droves as far as I can recall. And oh, funny story. One of my paychecks, I took it to the bank, and we lived down in Mill Woods because Bob was the minister in Mill Woods. So I was the one who commuted up to the church. So I got my paycheck, not my first one, but one of my paychecks, and I took it to the bank. And I think it said probably Reverend H. Smith. And the bank teller, back in the day, you had to go in and talk to the tellers. So she handed it back to me and said, you have to get your husband to sign the back of this. I said, what? I said, I've never had to do that before. And then one of the other tellers looked at me and she said, oh, no, it's okay. It's her. They just assumed that because it was Reverend, it was a guy that the check was written out to, and Bob hadn't, or my husband hadn't signed the back. So I remember that day quite clearly. But that wasn't church related. That was society related.
This has been excellent. And you've given me lots of stuff to work with.
Good luck editing this.
Yeah.